Very warm good afternoon to everyone present here. Namaskar. We extend a warm and spirited welcome to each one of you to the One Day as a Scientist Week celebration here at CSIR-NPL Auditorium. It is a moment of pride as we celebrate young scientific curiosity, innovation, and engagement, the very foundation of our nation's scientific future. And in a few moments, we will be joined by our Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Jitendra Singh, and all our dignitaries. Until then, I request all of you to please settle down, and also I request you to keep your mobile phones on silent mode. Thank you. So we will start with the celebration soon. I request all of you to please rise in your seats as we welcome the Honorable Minister of Science and Technology and Earth Sciences, Dr. Jitendra Singh. We welcome you, sir. Can we have a huge round of applause, please? प्रधानमंत्री जी ने जब अपने मन की बात कही तो हर बच्चे की आंखों में रोशनी सी जगी। चलो अपनी कक्षा की चार दीवारों से आगे, जहां विज्ञान बोलता है यंत्रों की धुन पे। जब CSIR ने ये संदेश सुना, तब CSIR की 37 प्रयोगशालाओं ने खोले अपने चमत्कारी द्वार, जहां सवाल बने खोज का उपहार, एक सप्ताह बना विज्ञान का त्योहार। जब खिल उठा प्रयोगशालाओं का हर एक कोना, तब बच्चों ने देखे सपनों के द्वार और पाई विज्ञान की नई सौगात। प्रयोगशालाएं बनी प्रेरणा का मंदिर, जहां हर बच्चा बोला, अब मैं भी बनूंगा वैज्ञानिक और बनाऊंगा अपने भारत को विकसित। With these words, and to begin this meaningful celebration on a graceful note, I now request Dr. N. Kalaiselvi ma'am to please present a green planter to Honorable Dr. Jitendra Singh, Minister of Science and Technology and Earth Sciences, as a token of our heartfelt welcome and deep respect. We welcome you, sir. To formally begin this inspiring celebration, I have the pleasure of inviting Dr. Geetavani Raisam, Head CSIR HRDG, to deliver the welcome address and introduce us to the One Day as a Scientist program, a visionary initiative that gives students a rare opportunity to step into the world of science. Ma'am, please.
Good afternoon and namaskar. A warm welcome to the Honorable Minister of Science and Technology and Earth Sciences, and also the Vice President of CSIR, Dr. Jitendra Singh ji, who has always been a great supporter of CSIR and especially the Jigyasa program. A warm welcome, sir, and thank you for kindly accepting our invitation and being here despite your busy schedule with the Parliament, etc. And welcome to DG CSIR and Secretary DSIR, Dr. N. Kalaiselvi, who is always behind us and supporting us to take up even more challenging initiatives. Thank you, ma'am, for being here. And Dr. Venugopal Achanta, a most generous host. I think I've never seen a more generous host than him. The labs of NPL are always open to us. And again, a sincere thanks to NPL and the whole team. And Dr. Shailaja, Distinguished Scientist, and who has been a cheerleader for Jigyasa program. And she's been very, very active. And the Jigyasa Epic Hackathon, she was instrumental in really bringing it to the scale we planned with corporate social responsibility. Thank you all the dignitaries and all the officers from CSIR headquarters, scientists, colleagues, friends, and most importantly, the school students. This day is about you and One Day as a Scientist. And as you heard from Avni, that Honorable PM in his Mann Ki Baat urged the students to take a role of a scientist and see what is science all about. With that inspiration, we came up with this program of One Day as a Scientist, or one day, the whole week actually, not just one day, but CSIR labs have opened up their labs for a whole week to allow the students, school students, to come and really feel what is science and what is research about. So, and before I go on to the program, I will just briefly mention the genesis of Jigyasa itself. Even the Jigyasa program was actually started when Honorable Prime Minister said that science should reach the people and especially the school students. So with that recommendation of the Honorable PM in 2016-17, CSIR launched this Jigyasa program. What started as a pilot phase with the signing of MOU between CSIR and Kendriya Vidyalaya today has become a full-fledged program, and I'm happy to say that in the last 8 years or so, CSIR has catered to 13 lakh students. In fact, more than 13 lakh students have benefited from this program. And even during COVID, we did not stop. Even during COVID, we had online webinars, online sessions. So it gives me great pleasure. And I think this is the whole of CSIR spirit. And this would not have been possible if it was an individual initiative. And an Honorable Minister has been with us throughout the journey. And in fact, when the Jigyasa program was presented to the Honorable PM, he said, this is good, but what about the people in remote areas, those who cannot visit CSIR labs? So then we developed a virtual lab, a virtual platform with IIT Bombay as a partner. And in fact, it was launched by Honorable Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh ji himself, I think in 2021. And after that, also, we have done many, many events where Honorable Minister was involved. We did an MOU with National Council for Science Museums with Dr. Jitendra Singh ji and Dr. Kishan Reddy ji. And because of that MOU, CCMB actually developed a mobile bus, which is actually with NCSM, which traveled across Telangana and Karnataka and others, talking about genetic diseases and taking science to the masses. And apart from that, we also, when Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav was being celebrated, we did Jigyasa Vigyan Mahotsav and Pan-India competition. And again, when we announced the winners, Honorable Minister was with us, and he in fact announced the winners of the Jigyasa Vigyan Mahotsav. And apart from that, in this same auditorium, the Honorable Minister had launched the Indian Sign Language enabled videos for the Jigyasa program. And also we set up a laboratory in Karnal, the city of Kalpana Chawla. An astronomy lab was set up, which was virtually launched by the Honorable Minister. So there are many, many initiatives under the Jigyasa platform. And we had this Royal Society of Chemistry coin battery experiment, which DGCSIR will remember. We did it in this meeting. And coming to the more recent activities is the Jigyasa Epic Hackathon. Today you will hear from the students who won this competition. The reason we chose today was many of the students are joining virtually also today. So as we speak, literally more than 1,500 students have joined from 37 CSIR labs. Who is a better speaker for them than another student who has won the innovation. So we want to motivate that not only scientists, but even students can do the innovations, and you will hear from your peers today. So that has been planned, and Dr. Shailaja will elaborate more about the hackathon. And one more recent initiative, it came from the Honorable PM in this 2022. He said, can we have some AI-based tool or something where you can gauge the aptitude of a student? So because we are a scientific organization, we have taken up scientific aptitude assessment, and nearly 800 students performed DNA experiment. And interestingly, even non-biology labs did this activity. And more than 800, I think, students performed the DNA isolation, and then we gave them a questionnaire. What is your understanding after doing the experiment? We are going to analyze that, and we hope that pilot experiment will lead to more meaningful initiatives. And coming to the final one day as a scientist for what you are today, as I said, it was inspired by the Honorable PM's advice to the students, and this whole week, starting from Monday to Friday, we are celebrating, and we are honored to have the Honorable Minister today to celebrate this event. And as we are speaking, 4 days have completed, and nearly 8,000 students have already participated in this event. And the way we did this was through MyGov. We partnered with MyGov and IIT Bombay, our partner. So we wanted to introduce science to the students. So we had a small quiz, or they read a passage on antimicrobial resistance. So from there, the initiative of science started. They read this passage, answer questions, very easy questions, and then they register. And once they register, they can choose which CSIR lab they want to work and what is the date. So that registration did, and we got almost 15,000 registrations so far we received across the country. And so this activity is going on, and all the 37 labs. And so when these people visit, they're just not walking around, but they're actually, our idea is to expose them to the scientists. What does a scientist look like? We all know only Einstein. The minute you ask somebody to draw a scientist, it will be Einstein or maybe Marie Curie. But there is science happening in India, our own Indian scientists, so they can actually talk to them and they can stay connected. So this is not a one-day exercise that you come and visit and forget, but they can work with these CSIR labs. And this is the idea of the One Day as a Scientist. And another small initiative which will be launched by the Honorable Minister is a Jigyasa monthly newsletter. So it is not just a compilation of events. We don't want it to be boring to the students. So we have introduced a popular science article on the latest topics. This time we are talking about quantum. So we have an article by Dr. Venugopal on quantum technologies. And then we have the voices of the students also. We want students also to contribute. And we will also introduce CSIR labs to you. What is the kind of research going on? There is fun quiz. So this is another initiative which we have taken up. And without taking much time, I thank the Honorable Minister for his continuous and enthusiastic support to CSIR and Jigyasa always, and DG CSIR for the constant motivation and encouragement. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the warm and insightful address and for beautifully setting the tone for this celebration of science and curiosity. Moving ahead, it is my privilege to request Professor Venugopal Achinta, Director CSIR-NPL, to present Lab's perspective on the Jigyasa Programme. Sir, please.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, Honorable Minister and Dr. Jitendra Singh ji, and our Honorable DG and Dr. Kalaiselvi. We talk about double engine. We are lucky to have you both. So because you come up with these brilliant ideas one after other, like 1 week, one theme, or one before that, like 1 week, one lab. So this is taking science to the masses, especially to students, has been a priority, right, for each one of us. And these ideas came from you people, and we're happy that like we are more connected. I mean, many of us don't realize, but 4 years ago when I came here, like, so we had this 75th anniversary of NPL. So I tried contacting a lot of Delhi-based reporters. Hardly anybody turned up. But today I got a call from one of them, whom I tried to contact, bring them here. She called herself and said that, like, look, we want to cover this. It's a very interesting idea. Right? So this is something which shows how we are connecting to the public. Right? So this is, I mean, another thing which, with permission, I would like to share that, like, so once in 2019, I was in Moscow. So there we were working on the photonics roadmap for the BRICS nations. So then there's some discussion, and suddenly the Brazilians asked some question and said that, look, this is a policy matter. It's better if the minister is here. And next day morning, the minister was there to discuss with us. So I thought like, wow, okay. I think that like minister is somebody not approachable so easily. But now we have one minister like who is really approachable and comes up with these ideas to motivate us and take what we are doing to the public. So at NPL, like what we do is we have several open days throughout the year, and our labs are open to schools and colleges who actually write to us to visit the labs. So in addition to that, under the flagship Jigyasa program of CSIR, so what we do is we have a 10-day internship program for students. Especially I'm mentioning these things because those who are coming for one day, you made the contact today, but you're always welcome back. You use this opportunity to come back and work at NPL in the laboratories with our scientists, so that like you get an even better feel of science and what is happening here. So this school students internship program is typically about 10 days. The students come and spend at NPL in various labs. And we also have a STEM workshop, which we recently organized to bring scientists and teachers together in one place to see like how we can promote research-oriented or research concepts, or how to mix the both and improve the teaching. So for the school and college students, like, so this is STEM workshop for teachers, which we have organized. Then we also do these micro research activities. If some student has an idea, right? So we help execute that idea, and it may be publishable, right? So these are small experiments which can lead to a publication in Science Popularization Journal, right? So these are lab visits, as I mentioned, they happen throughout the year. Whenever we have requests from any school or college from across the country, like we encourage them in this matter. Like I should also thank once again our Honorable Minister, because we do, whenever the students come from Leh, Ladakh or Jammu Kashmir area, like so get a call saying that like arrange a lab visit for them. So those students come here, spend about half a day visiting the labs. So we get good feedback from them, because this is opportunities which many of us didn't have it during our childhood. So these are things possible because of the leadership which we have. So we also reach out to the community through school students who participate, visit NPL and participate with our scientists, like interact with our scientists. So we reach out to the broader community, broader schools and other organizations. We continuously organize whenever there is an open day. So we do organize these competitions like science quizzes, poster making competition, or a slogan competition. This is to motivate the students, right? So these are some of the activities which we do. I also have to say briefly about NISPER, the Science Communication and Policy Research Institute. So there is, it's right next door, and there are a lot of science communication. There are a plethora of international journals which are published. It's not at the national level, so the science which is being done in India as well as outside, so this is promoted through publications, which is a big industry which is mostly led by US or European countries, but we have our own set of international journals which are respected. So these are published by NISPER. In addition, like they contribute a lot to the science communication and science popularization. So there are events done. I think Goreja is here, like, so there is Hindi event which is done, right? So there, when you see that, like, we don't realize, like, people come forward from across cross sections of, they need not be scientists, they need not be science students, they come administrative staff or somebody, like, so they come out with nice science-based poems in Hindi. Right, so this is something which is motivating that, like, yes, I mean, there is enough interest, there is a lot of push which is needed, and we are actually reaching out to the masses, and where the success of these events is really measured. So So there is a lot which goes on, but is it sufficient? We'll always meet somebody tomorrow saying that like, oh, you should say, oh, you do all those things. We didn't know, you should popularize, you should give out to PIB, then we do, oh, okay, you should reach out more, right? We are 1.4 billion population, so whatever we do is not sufficient enough, so we keep our efforts, and hopefully we'll be developed nation soon, where science has its own value and standing within our economy. So these events are meant towards that, to encourage our youth to have not just engineering and medicine, but also have pure sciences as well as alternate avenues for career. So this, I hope all the students will take this message, and we'll have more interactions in future. Right? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Your words beautifully reflect how CSIR-NPL, along with all CSIR labs across the country, are sowing the seeds of curiosity in young minds through purposeful outreach, mentorship, and scientific inspiration. Now it's my privilege to request a distinguished scientist and a strong advocate of nurturing young talent, Dr. D. Shelja, distinguished scientist CSIR, to take us through one of the most dynamic and impactful student-led initiatives, the CSIR Jigyasa Empowering Pupils Innovation and Creativity Hackathon 2024, a nationwide celebration of ideas, innovation, and fearless imagination. Ma'am, please.
Thank you very much. Honorable Assistant Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh ji, our DG Dr. Kalaiselvi ji, Dr. Venugopal ji, Director NPL, Dr. Geeta Vani Raisam, the Head of HRDG, my dear colleagues from CSIR fraternity, ladies and gentlemen, and dearest students. Today I am going to speak about the EPIC hackathon. The EPIC means the Empowering Pupil Innovation and Creativity. We did this hackathon steered by HRDG last year. It was a full year exercise, I would say, because we were initiators. But then this hackathon had in mind the commitment of CSIR to nurture the young minds by empowering these students through curiosity-driven, socially relevant science. We are all talking about Student-Scientist Connect and empowering or inculcating scientific temper in you and motivating you to take up science careers. But we went ahead with one more step to try to create that entrepreneurial inclination in S&T-based solutions. Normally, most of the students will be inspired to take up IT-based code writing solutions as an entrepreneurial avenue for startups, because that's easier when compared to S&T based solutions to be taken as a problem statement to initiate a startup. So we wanted to inculcate that spirit in the students, and which is actually aligned with the NEP 2020 policy, where also the social scientific responsibility mandates it aligns to, in trying to create that creativity, collaboration, critical thinking, and problem solving skills. So with this motive in mind, we designed a very nice program to help these students' learnings of science to be applied to real world problems. So that problem solving skills, we oriented them to two topics. One was One Health, another was clean and green energy, because these two are the most sought after topics, and we try to garner the interest of students to ideate and innovate in these areas, requesting them to submit proposals. And for this, around a core team of 20 scientists from different CSI labs came together, steered by HRDG, and we really tried to formulate two categories of students, 7th to 9th and 10th to 12th. And these students submitted proposals. You cannot imagine, the number of proposals we got. The applications were 966 from around the country, and about 1,300 students participated for this call. And this was a very encouraging thing for us. So we try to structure on how are we going to empower them with that entrepreneurial orientation sessions. So we did the boot camps first. Several boot camps online in a hybrid mode, where we try to, it was actually launched by Professor Rishikesha Krishnan, the director of IIM Bangalore, with his talk, and most of our directors of CSIR labs and the senior scientists came in and spoke to them on those two topics, enlightened them on those aspects such that, they can orient those proposals properly. So after receiving these proposals, we tried to evaluate them with 5 different criteria. One basically was the novelty, innovativeness, and the social impact that it has with the problem addressed. And then the creativity, technical feasibility, and the scalability. After the creativity, we looked into the planning and methodology with which they wanted to execute that proposal. And finally, we said that their presentation skills and the clarity in understanding the problem. That is what we looked at, and we evaluated them, and all these people were put into 2 different phases of presentation as well as poster presentation. That's how we wanted to ensure that they very vividly understand the problem statement and the solution that they are presenting. So after this, we reviewed these proposals fully and shortlisted them to 64 proposals, and which had 64 students and 42 proposals. So that's how, the selected candidates were then put on internships. So the funds that we raised from CIPLA Foundation under CSR was utilized for execution of the program, and also support them in terms of some fellowship during their internship. So during internship, they were actually interacting with the scientists in the laboratories, respective laboratories where they were put up for those 2 topics. And then they got the refinement in their ideas and executed, and scientific evaluation was done, and prototype formation was happening during that time under their mentorship. So finally, after all this exercise, we tried to put up at IGIB for 30 students of 23 proposals and exhibition. That is where, we also had the DNA testing done for all the students. Most of the non-science people also participated. And I gave a talk on the entrepreneurial, how to pitch a deck to as a startup. We gave them that kind of knowledge, and then selected 3 of them who were the best of the best to give them some cash awards from this particular fund we raised. So all those 3 winners are here. All the students are here, I believe. I interacted with them, and their the impact of this program, sir, is so much so that the first winner got a grant from abroad, and he got a fellowship also. He will be explaining himself about what is the advantage he got out of this program. The second one, that was on the solar mechanical engine. Second one was on Drishya Mitram. For all those visually challenged people, they came up with an app that can help them in the mobility. And then the third one was on the Stetho, which is iStetho, which is wireless, because these days we have the issue of heart attacks, which symptoms come in where there is a chest pain. We do not really understand whether it is because of the heart issue or the gastric issue. So that way, this particular 3 students will be talking about their innovations. And eventually what I would like to tell you is, most of them, one of them got the grant, but the rest of them need some kind of a support for furthering that innovation into a startup. So that is where I said, we will try to bring in CSR funds again as a phase 2 for those winners, and a phase 1 for the rest of the students, again with 2 more topics. And this is how we wish to continue this exercise of inculcating this scientific entrepreneurial orientation to students and push them towards innovation and innovative skills. Thank you for your patient hearing, and I call upon all the students to be very actively participating in the future calls. Be watchful of the calls coming from HRDG, Jigyasa, CSIR. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the inspiring glimpse into how the Epic Hackathon is empowering the next generation of innovators. It's truly heartening to see how CSIR is not just creating science for the youth, but with the youth. बचपन की जिज्ञासा जब दिशा पाती है, तो कल्पनाएं भी खोजों में बदल जाती हैं। नन्हे विचारों में होती है बड़ी उड़ान, तभी तो रचते हैं बच्चे विज्ञान में नई पहचान। And now the moment we all have been waiting for, the voices of tomorrow taking the stage today. We now begin the student engagement session where the winners of the Epic Hackathon 2024 will present their groundbreaking ideas and that reflect bold thinking, deep empathy, and a strong scientific temper. And our first presentation is by the first prize winner, Japtek Singh Bamra from Dalhousie Public School, Pathankot, who conducted the summer internship at CSIR-NPL Jammu.
I once tried to build a machine using kitchen foil, Lego bricks, and a steel lunchbox lid, and accidentally blew the fuse off my house. That's when my mom said, "Beta, maybe science isn't for you." And I said, "No, Mom, maybe science hasn't seen what I can do yet." Today, thanks to Jigyasa, that same crazy idea not only worked, it worked, it won a national prize and got me into one of the top universities in the world. A very good afternoon to Honorable Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Jitendra Singh ji, all the directors, researchers, and scientists present here, and of course, all the school students present here. My name is Japtek Singh Bamra, and I am the creator of Solar Mech Engine. And here we go. It all began when I was selected for the CSIR Jigyasa Epic Hackathon 2024. I had no funding, no team, but just a single wild idea. What if we could build an engine that ran purely on solar heat, not to replace existing systems, but to serve areas where there's no electricity at all? And for example, rural farms and cold storage units. That spark, that one spark that Jigyasa gave me, changed everything. And that was the vision, and from the rough idea, I made a final product. I started experimenting in the lab I got allotted, which was CSIR-NPL, and with the mentor's help, internet, AI models, a lot of research, and a lot of scientific expertise, invaluable mentorship from Dr. Nasir, and a lot of research again, we turned my idea into a real project. And that project was firstly like this, but it got turned into this. So my project was a two-part engine. The first is the main body of the engine, and the second thing is the parabolic dish. The parabolic dish collects the sun's heat, and the engine converts sun's heat into mechanical energy and heat energy, and of course, if we add a dynamo, it will be converted to electric energy. After that, here is the video of my project in the working. So as you can see, it is collecting sun's heat all live, and then it is converting it to mechanical energy. The best part comes after I won the Jigyasa Epic Hackathon program with the first place, and that moment wasn't just a win, it was validation. Suddenly, I wasn't the kid with an idea, I was an innovator. Backed by national institution, it gave me the confidence to keep improving the engine and to make it ready for real deployment. So basically, I did not stop working on the engine even after winning the hackathon. I participated in a startup event at Jammu, wherein I got valuable feedback for my engine, and I understood the potential shortcomings of my engine. After that, after I understood the shortcomings, I reinvested the amount provided by Jigyasa and CIPLA back into my engine to solve the shortcomings and improve the performance. The best part comes after that, and that is that I won Honors Graduate Scholarship. So thanks to Jigyasa and thanks to all of the feedback I got, I submitted a new entry to an international scholarship and fellowship program. And from that, I was one of the top winners selected internationally, and I was the only Indian student who was selected after 2012. So thereon, now at this very point, my project was not a simple science fair project. This project had turned into an innovation. And I say that because I got a $10,000 scholarship from the organization and an additional $5,000 grant to support and scale my innovation. That's how we went further, and now this is one of the most important slides, how Jigyasa reshaped my future. When I started, I only had an idea, but right now I'm working on a real innovation. I'm solving real problems, and that have been all possible because of Jigyasa. Thanks to Jigyasa, now I have been admitted to Purdue University to study robotics engineering technology. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. But beyond college, Jigyasa gave me something very, very important. That was belief. Belief that innovation can start from anywhere, even a teenager's dirty desk in Punjab. So to end, I would end with the note that, so to every student sitting here, if you have an idea, no matter how small, no matter how silly, no matter how strange, give it a chance. Jigyasa gave me my chance, and maybe one day it will be your name on this stage and you will be sharing your story. Thank you, CSIR, thank you, Jigyasa, and thank you for all believing in student-led innovation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Japte, for that impressive and well-articulated presentation. It's inspiring to see such a practical application of clean energy innovation from a young mind. Next, we have the second prize-winning project. For that, we have a dynamic duo, Udhav and Udbhav, from DLF Public School, Sahibabad.
Greetings to all. We are Uddhav Bandhani and Uddhav Gupta from DLF Public School, Sahibabad. Today, we are excited to present our inclusive city model, which proudly bagged second position in CSIR Jigyasa CIPLA Hackathon 2024. We encountered a visually challenged individual in a locality who faced difficulties to navigate throughout the city. Hence, we realized that often smart cities lack inclusive environment. So, we tried to empower 43 million people who are facing this challenge every day in the world.
Now let's talk about our vision and objectives. Our main vision was to promote safe navigation among the visually impaired people, integrated solution with combined sensors and auditory clues, and smart city integration to promote accessibility solution to them, and overall to promote dignity in the society among visually challenged people. Next, we came up with our first innovation, initially Drishyam Mitram. Drishyam Mitram was basically at starting a smart blind stick and then turned into a compact add-on for the blind stick. In stage 1, we made a basic prototype mounted on a vertical support, and in stage 2, we used a vibromotor for better sensing, and overall in the stage 3, we made it compact as an add-on, as an attachment which can be attached to any stick, not compromising their comfort level and making it useful. Secondly, we analyzed that moreover the persons need to be independent, and in the navigating through the cities, we came up with our second innovation, Suraksha Dwar, and moreover in the stage 1, we established a basic circuit. This will be enabled near the zebra crossings, and in the stage 2, we improved the system using buzzers and sensors. And in stage 3, we integrated the system with an integration of new technology and existing traffic light system.
Now we aim to make this project a real world solution. We now aim to integrate within a society. We want to improve our system by adding camera and AI ML to improve the efficiency of a smart blind stick attachment. And this all has been possible with the help of CSIR, CSIU, and especially under the mentorship of Mr. Ashish Gaurav. Our mentor helped us throughout our journey and even worked beyond the internship to transform our idea from paper to a real-world solution. At last, I would also thank my school, DLF, and my school principal, Ms. Seema Jareth, and school teachers who has connected us to CSIR. This journey has been very precious to both of us. It has transformed us and it showed us how we could innovate and think beyond the books. Thank you, CSIR, for providing such a beautiful opportunity.
Thank you, Udhav and Udbhav, for your thoughtful and inclusive innovation. Now let's welcome our third prize winner, Shreya Vinod from St. Anne's Senior Secondary School, Roorkee, for her project at CSIR-CBRI on electricity from the waste heat of air conditioners. Shreya, please.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Shreya Vinod from Roorkee, Uttarakhand. As part of the CSIR Jigyasa program, I did a 2-month internship at CBRI Roorkee, Uttarakhand, starting from June 2024. There, I was assigned a mentor, Dr. Tabish Alam. The following are the phases of project I followed during my internship. Firstly, I came up with an idea to generate electricity from the waste heat of air conditioners. The idea was to use thermoelectric generators to generate power from the temperature difference. Then, I discussed this idea with my mentor. Based on this, I came up with an idea to use 6 TEG units as an array. I was confused about which material to use when my mentor came to my rescue and helped me choose the correct material. After the prototype was set, the next task was to test it. I was so excited to see the output voltage rise up to 4.5 volt. The next step was to install this unit in an AC and to test it. I wasn't sure if tampering with an AC would be possible to test my unit, but with a mentor like Tabish sir, everything is possible. He opened up his own AC and installed this unit in the AC. We were able to see a voltage of 1 volt from this setup. There is a lot more to tweak on this project before this unit can generate more power, but I'm so happy to have taken the first step forward. My takeaways from the Jigyasa program are: ideas can be simple. We need not have difficult ideas to start with. Mentors help us to transform our ideas into reality. Opportunities are there for students to innovate new things and get inspired. I'm so thankful for the CBRI's for all these facilities from CBRI and to the whole CSIR Jigyasa team for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shreya. And now for the closing this inspiring round of students' presentation, we have third prize winner, Soil from Mothers Public School, Bhubaneswar. Soil, please.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Soil Parija, and I'm from Bhubaneswar, Odisha. I had mentored at CSIR IMMT, Bhubaneswar, under Dr. Devi Prasad Das. So our school had us submit a science project every year for our internal marks. So for that, I had come up with a wireless stethoscope. To build that, I had taken help from a local project shop. They wrote a few lines of code and connected a few wires and said, it's done. When they showed it to me, on the screen, it showed a few random values. Those random values did not actually work. So, so that's when I knew that I needed help. For the help, I'm sorry. I I needed help, and that help came through CSIR-IMMT, Jigyasa Programme, Epic Hackathon. Fortunately, I got selected to work at CSIR-IMMT under Dr. Devi Prasad Das. There, we first began by examining the raw signals from the stethoscope, faint and barely detectable. By integrating an amplifier module, the signal was strengthened and made audible through a loudspeaker. For the first time, I could hear a heartbeat. Then, using an oscilloscope, I saw the heartbeat not just as numbers, but as dynamic waveforms. Each peak and pause revealing real psychological data. To ensure accuracy, we connected the system to a DSpace microlab box, capturing the signal with a high precision tool, down to each millisecond. Simultaneously, we recorded the audio through a computer, syncing it with real electric data. This synchronization helped us bridge what a doctor hears with what a machine detects. To validate the system, we manually counted heartbeats to establish a reliable ground truth. With this verified data, we trained a machine learning model capable of automatically identifying and counting heartbeats per second, no longer reliable on guesswork. The stethoscope could now intelligently analyze real pulse patterns, steadily improving in accuracy with each iteration. As you can see, the first graph on the left side is is all the raw data that we captured. Then on the right side top, there's the sound waves we captured after removing all the noise. And on the third one, we had run our AI model to count all the peaks, all the blue lines on it, and the pulse generated was 78. This is a small video. Okay, so that's not working. As you can see, this is a block diagram of my stethoscope. There's first a stethoscope, and that's connected to a microphone. That microphone is connected to a mic amplifier. That microphone amplifier is connected to a speaker amplifier and a low frequency speaker, because it's not audible on a normal speaker right now. That micro amplifier is also connected to a ADC, which is an analog to digital converter, where data is acquired. So that's a DSpace microlab box, and that's connected to a computer where a AI ML program is running to count all the peaks. And the future application would be to listen to the audio in the smart device. So it could be called a wireless stethoscope using a high frequency Bluetooth transmitter. And after that, we could approach to the medical colleges for ethical clearance for human testing, because I've not tested it. I've just tested it on myself. You cannot do that on others right now. No, it's on me, sir. I'm my test subject. So after that, we attempt towards designing a household application with stethoscopic report, where the stethoscope first listens to the sounds and tells you what problem it is with AI. Thank you.
Thank you, Sohail, for that brilliant demonstration of science and empathy can come together to serve society. Now I request all the students, all 4 of them, to please come on the dais for a group photograph with our chief guest and all the dignitaries, along with the Jigyasa Programme coordinators present here. नन्हे सपनों ने आज ये दिखा दिया कि जज्बा हो तो उम्र मायने नहीं रखती. Let's have a big round of applause for these young bright minds. Japteg, Uddhav, Udbhav, Shreya and Sohail. And now, to keep the spark alive, It's time for a fun and fast-paced quiz round for the students sitting here. So let's know how much you know about CSIR, our science ecosystem, and the Jigyasa spirit. So quickly, let's move to the question first. Let us know how much you know. So first question is very simple. You just have to raise your hands. If you know the answer, the first one who raises the hand will get an opportunity to answer. So the first question is, how many national labs are there under CSIR? So this girl sitting here in the 4th row. Yes. 37. Very nice. It's the correct answer.
37.
She has already given the answer. That's very nice. So we have 37 national labs along with 39 outreach centers, 1 innovation complex, and 3 units spread across India. So next question, and this is from history and intellectual property. Which scientific organization successfully fought and revoked the US patent on turmeric? This boy, yes. Next to you was the first one to raise hand. What is the full form of CSIR? It's Council for Scientific and Industrial Research. Very good. Yes. So you both can share the prize. Both of them. Both of you, please come. So next question. Which CSIR institute is India's National Meteorology Institute? You got a prize, so we move to this girl. Yes. And what is the full form of NPL?
National Physics.
Yes, National Physical
Lab.
Yes, very nice. So you are sitting at CSIR-NPL, which is the India's National Meteorology Institute and the timekeeper. Now moving to the next question, that is, name one major contribution of CSIR-NPL to India's space program. Last second row.
Ma'am, they have researched the time very well. The Indian Meteorological Laboratory have tried their field in converting 1 second into 1 crore pieces into milliseconds.
Very nice, good, you are correct. We are providing precise time to missions like ISRO and Chandrayaan. Very good. So again, a very simple question. Let's see who raises the hand first. How many base units are there in SI? Yes. Very good. Now you have to name all 7.
Length, mass, time, candela, mole, amount of substance, and temperature.
You said 7, right? So, okay. So next question. Which SI unit was redefined in 2019 with CSIR-NPL participating in the vote? Yes, this girl. Any other person who wants to answer? This is not correct. Yes? Temperature and Kelvin. Next, anyone else? Yes, you?
Boltzmann constant.
No. So let's move forward to the next question.
Mole.
No.
Mass.
Which is the unit?
kg.
Yes, the kilogram, it was redefined using the Planck's constant. So thank you very much for your participation. And now we move to a moment of great pride, the launch of an initiative that not only informs but inspires. So I'm talking about the CSIR Jigyasa's monthly newsletter, a step forward in connecting science with students and stories with stakeholders. This newsletter is a dynamic platform created by CSIR Jigyasa to showcase the wide range of student outreach programs being carried out at CSIR labs across the country. So now may I request Honorable Minister Sir to kindly launch the CSIR Jigyasa's newsletter. Sir, please. And I also I invite Dr. K. Sridhar, Scientist in Charge, Jigyasa, Dr. Parth Sathi Ramakrishnan, Jigyasa Coordinator, and Dr. Shibu Saha, Jigyasa Coordinator from CSIR. Thank you. Moving forward, I am thrilled to share that over 15,000 students registered for the OneDayAsScientist week, and in just 4 days, more than 8,000 students have already walked through CSIR labs, asking questions, handling instruments, observing research in action, and most importantly, igniting their scientific curiosity. And to celebrate their journey, we now present a special video, One Day as a Scientist, featuring real moments captured over the last 3 days from CSIR labs across the country, including the glimpses from CSIR-NPL. Can we have the video, please? What a powerful glimpse into the last 3 days of One Day as a Scientist, a celebration of questions, curiosity, and the joy of discovery. And now to share her vision and reflections on this incredible journey, I'm deeply honored to request a dynamic leader and an unwavering champion of inclusive science, Dr. N. Kalaiselvi, DG CSIR and Secretary DSIR, to address the gathering. Ma'am, please.
Namaskar, Vanakkam, and pleasant evening to each and every one of you. Most respected and Honorable Minister of Science and Technology and the Vice President of CSIR, visionary leaders, those who are really decorating the stage of today's very important event, my colleagues from CSIR, and all the well-wishers and part of CSIR, those who are decorating this great institution's auditorium, and the very important guests of today, the heroes and heroines of today's event, the students, student community. I'm really feeling so proud, and I'm thrilled, excited, and I'm taking this as a great opportunity to share some of the points with you. Today I'm really feeling little low after listening to all the students. I was just thinking, what was I doing when I was doing this class 7 to 9 and 10 to 12? So at that point of time, if I recall, they used to ask one essay writing, what they will say, self-narration. So they will say, you just narrate and you just forget about your Kalaiselvi and you just assume that you are something else and you narrate. So I thought that if I were a river, what and all I will write. So all these things are only based on your imagination, your creation, creative thought process. So it was all about, I was just talking in air. I was writing on the paper without even not able to touch or realize or experience and get excited that whatever I wanted to do. And when I was a student, truly speaking, I have never visited or I have never had the darshan of any scientist. I have seen only the photographs. Then when I just grew up and when I myself became a scientist, one day, I'm really telling you, one day when I told someone in my small town, Karekudi, so they said, what are you doing in Sikri? I said, I'm a scientist. They said, are you a scientist? I said, yes, I'm a scientist. Then the person secondly asked, you mean you are a scientist like Abdul Kalam? I said, not like Abdul Kalam, it is a scientist. Because now I was feeling a little hesitant to say that, but scientist means people had Dr. Abdul Kalam as the kind of a symbol of scientist. So this is the way I was just growing. But when we became scientists, we just made it as a point that we have to go to schools and we have to talk to children and we have to make them understand that scientist is not that there could be only one Abdul Kalam or there could be only one scientist, Sir C.V. Raman kind of stuff. It is not that way. If you just take science as your discipline, if you take science as your career, one day you can also become a scientist. So we just wanted to give that kind of a confidence. And for we scientists, we started moving towards schools. And when we started moving towards schools, when we were just sitting on the dais, again children will be just looking at us, oh, I'm here and scientists are there on the dais. So they were really worried when only I will be able to cross this distance and I can also occupy a chair. Then we thought that no, there is no point of sitting only on the dais. Then we just went down, then we started hand-holding them. And CSIR is one such organization wherein initially we had one program called CPYLS, CSIR Programme on Youth Leadership in Science. So that time also we used to hand-hold the school children, but it was done in a very, I would say, limited version. But now CSIR Jigyasa, again, how many times we want to thank the Honorable Prime Minister of the country, I do not know, because countless times we can really thank. Because the moment he came up with a kind of an idea that Jigyasa should be one program, meaning is he raised a simple question. You people are scientists and you are living in your own world, and students are there in the school and in the classrooms. So who is going to fill up the gap? This is a question the Honorable Prime Minister raised. Then we started thinking, can we just come up with a kind of a program that can really give a real-time connect between the scientists and the students? This is how Jigyasa came into existence. Now Jigyasa is growing to the level that the students, they not only become the innovator, I think they are moving towards a kind of an entrepreneurship and they are able to win over the confidence of entire Indian scientific community by way of bagging the very first international prize, and the prize amount is $10,000. And again, another $5,000 was given to support the project. And the boy is very much from Delhi and he got his mentorship from one of the CSIR labs, IIM Jammu. So Jammu, so far we were talking all the time about only lavender, purple revolution. So now this is Jigyasa revolution. So sir, whenever this revolution comes, silent revolutions are happening, it is always happening only in your place, sir. I think why it is happening in Honorable Minister's place? Why? Because if you just recall the welcome address which was given by Dr. Geeta, she mentioned Honorable Minister's honorable minister. This, I think she mentioned around 10 to 15 times. I silently counted also. None of you would have attended 15 times this Jigyasa program, but honorable minister has attended. Therefore, this is the real leadership. This is where the leader makes it for sure. Whatever program you just plan in the name of Jigyasa, the honorable minister is with us. Whether it is a Saturday, Sunday, closed holiday, whether it is a parliament session going time also, silently we just steal some time from honorable minister's calendar. And honorable minister also always, he just graced the occasion by sitting with all the scientists, and he always loves to interact with children. And therefore, at your age, I have never seen any minister at this kind of a distance. And today, all of you took photograph. I'm feeling so jealous on each and every one of you. Because now the time is changing, and we are now believing that you are capable of doing. You have the energy, and rightly this Jigyasa has taken two important topics. So to live happily on earth, you need basically two things. One is you should be healthy. Second thing, you should be energetic. Therefore, they have taken health and energy. And in both the cases, and when you talked about solar energy to mechanical energy, I was just thinking, okay, now I'm able to understand what you say. But at your age, definitely, I was not in that particular thing. So it is a great, I would say, coincidence and a synergy. Students are also coming up to the more than the expected level. And CSIR is offering the platform. Big thanks to all the 37 CSIR national laboratories, because you are making the doors open for all the student innovators. So far we used to say that next generation leaders. I think hereafter I should remember, you are not only next generation leaders, you are next generation innovators also. And again, special credit goes to Jigyasa, Dr. Geeta and Dr. Shridhar, and the entire team of Jigyasa from all the 37 national laboratories. And I should definitely take this particular opportunity to tell all the student community, please consider CSIR as your, I would say, whether, if at all you like your classroom, I will say that it is your second classroom. If you like your home only, I can say it is your second home or it is your home. Please feel free to go visit, stay, talk to people, touch, feel, experience, and excite out of the science. And also Achanta, Dr. Venugopal Achanta has already told you, this is not going to be a one-day fair, because it is not a fun fair. It is only an initiation. So you will be getting another chance of spending a minimum of 7 to 10 days in this campus. Therefore, again, visit this laboratory, talk to people, sit with them, argue with them. Then you make them to accept your ideas also. Then they will be able to handhold you. Therefore, it is not only these 1 to 5 students. I think we will be now able to make 5,000 students. And at the age, at your age, I never even thought about what is it that I can do to the society. When both of you came and told that in the whole world, 43 million people, they are having these visually impaired related difficulties, and you are able to think about even the society at this age. And I truly salute each and every one of you. And to make all your dreams come true, I think it is the Jigyasa and CSIR. And therefore, big thanks to the entire Jigyasa team. And Dr. Shailaja made it very clear how this hackathon was really conducted and how it has really given a kind of a confidence to student community. So all of you, please make use of this opportunity. CSIR is your laboratory, and all the scientists are your mentors. Feel free to ask any scientist, any lab for any kind of science and technology related assistance. So we are at your service, because by sitting on your shoulders hereafter, we can also have a great visionary look for the society, that what and all we can do with the kind of energy that you have and the little experience that we have out of being a scientist. So today, earlier in my childhood, people used to say that they will show a chair. This is the chair of the principal or the headmistress. If you want to sit for 1 minute, you can experience and you can go. So when the HM is not there, you can go sit for 1 minute and you can come out. So it is like 1 minute as a headmistress we would have experienced. But today you are experiencing 1 day as a scientist. But tomorrow, you should be the real scientist of the nation. You should be the innovators, because country believes and CSIR also believes that you are capable, and we are ready to handhold you. Thank you so very much for the opportunity. Wish Jigyasa all the very best. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. You continue to energize the scientific community and ignite young minds across the nation. Thank you. जब नेतृत्व में हो दूरदृष्टि और विज्ञान से हो नाता, तब राष्ट्र को मिलती है नई उड़ान, नया रास्ता. A big moment for all of us, and it is my proud privilege to request our chief guest, a leader who truly represents the spirit of science for society, a bridge between governance and grassroots innovation, to address the gathering. Sir, please.
Director General CSIR, Dr. N. Kalaiselvi, whose vibrant discourse you just now heard. Director Dr. Venugopal, he was mentioning to double engine, but he forgot that we have found in him a convenient fuel. So each time a program has to be held at short notice, Dr. Kalaiselvi finds him handy. So that's the advantage of being centrally placed, with of course some of the disadvantages as well. Dr. Shailja, who so passionately presented about how everything went along, and Dr. Geeta, the entire team, Jigyasa, and most of all the students who are the main attraction this evening, but for whom we would not have been here. Now, it was, I think, while I compliment you for the successful Jigyasa week, I also must compliment the youngsters for their presentations. In fact, wherever I go, I insist that it would be better that I listen to them rather than they listening to me, because otherwise they'll go home and make fun of me to their parents that so-and-so had come and we were made to sit there. But I'm sure after this also we could have some more interaction with them if the time permits. But what we saw today is, I think, an aspirational surge that is happening among the youngsters in India. And this is something very noticeable. And the manner in which they could present some of their findings with a lot of self-confidence. Not all of these were very original, to be very frank, because if you should neither underestimate yourself nor overestimate yourself. The biggest challenge for a human being is to have an optimum assessment of what one is. Now, for example, he's from Pathankot. Earlier on, everybody who went to Bombay from Pathankot thought he would become a Dharmendra. But many of them ended up becoming clapper boys, and some of them opened canteens in the backyard of one of the studios. So what is important is to actually understand what you are, you are meant for, what is your capacity, what is your aptitude, how far can you go in what you are pursuing. So that initiation has happened. Of course, what some of these children are doing may be happening in a bigger way in many of the other labs across the country also. But you see, there is a confidence of having done it on their own and done it through their inner surge or an inner urge. Like, for example, that boy presenting stethoscope. Now, this is something which was the earliest stethoscope that we had was like that. It was designed like that, actually. But, of course, these children wouldn't have seen that. You've not seen those times. You've seen only Littmann stethoscopes which are present today, available today. So, but you had, I mean, maybe similarly, the earliest inventor of the stethoscope also went through the same thought process. So, if you have been able to trigger this thought process in them, that itself is an initiation of creativity and innovation. And when I say the aspirational urge, the other day I had a very strange experience which I immediately came and spoke to Secretary DST. We were in one of the aspirational, very small town called Dholpur in Rajasthan. And I suggested, Rajesh was with me, so I thought we should go to one of the schools, and that happened to be a government school for girls. And then again I said, we won't do any talking, let them talk. And then we'll end up with some concluding remarks. So one of the girls got up and she said, I'm in class 8. I'm beneficiary of one of these Jigyasa programs, something like that, which has given me tremendous amount of opportunity and has also given me confidence, she said. You just imagine a class 8 girl saying. But then she says, I have a complaint. So I immediately came and spoke to Abhay, which I'm also bringing to your notice. She said, my younger sister also in the same school is in class 6, but she is not included in this program. So you see the aspiration. Earlier on you won't have. Similarly, there was another girl who spoke about the Inspire Award. And she also said, I had a suggestion, Inspire Award, and I was amazed, they are so aware of it. The entire process of giving all these benefits and the incentives and scholarships. So the other girl says, your Inspire Award is categorized in 3 classes. Class 12, graduation, post-graduation. So what about us, the high school girls? And immediately after I came back in the evening, I spoke to Abhay, and even yesterday in our meeting, we were talking that I suggested we must find a way of, because if there is a spark, we can't leave it unattended. So this means this experiment that we started at the behest of Prime Minister Modi has actually begun to yield results. And that is why this year on the 23rd of August, when we have National Space Day, which we started observing with the success of Chandrayaan, because that was the day Chandrayaan landed on the south pole of the moon. This day we have decided to have an elaborate exhibition, and we are integrating with the Ministry of Cultural Affairs so that we'll begin from where, like the stethoscope which you created today also was in use at one upon a time, maybe many centuries ago. And gradually it went through several generations. So we will go back to the original creation or try to link it, while numbers like number 0 digit coming over here, which actually became our countdown process even in our launches. So I think that is also a way in which we can connect with our traditional knowledge and get the best of the both, because India exclusively has that advantage. Now, the only, I think one more suggestion, which, because I'm glad that ever since Dr. Kalaiselvi has been there, she has been accepting all my suggestions, at least with apparent magnanimity. I know, even it was not. So, first thing when she joined, I said we should start a program called 1 Week, 1 Lab. And she was very generous immediately launching that, which I'm sure has given a buzz to each of the labs, and each of the labs is speaking good about it. Then I said, now we should start 1 week, 1 theme, because we have a number of institutes and labs overlapping with the same theme, so they can come together. So we are now into that. And now here we have 1 day as a scientist. So could we also have for the scientists 1 day as a teacher? So next time we could do that. So one of us from here could go to the DPS at Pathankot and then to Roorkee. The other girl was there. We could actually reciprocate and repay them. We can start from the schools from where these award winners have come. And you could take the credit. Look here, I won the Jigyasa Award, and that's why my school is now being benefited by the visit of one of the chief scientists. So he'll have the satisfaction of having accomplished that for his school, and the school will be benefited. And second, another improvisation, because each time we start this, so I keep thinking how to move on to the next slide. The second improvisation, if we could do, is out of these 5 days or 6 days, 1 day or half a day, at least one of the parents of each of these boys or girls. So that when you go back home, you are not brainwashed by them. No, I'm talking what is happening on the ground. So, because then they would say, okay, वो एक DG है, एक scientist chief है, वो तो उनका हो गया. But now don't get too much into this. This is a, what is that souvenir I have brought? A brochure of a coaching center. You better start going there from tomorrow. So I think we equally need, because It's not something that can be left only to a single individual or a single scientist or a single student. So we are all children of the same society. And parents, and not to grudge them, because no parent would like causing disadvantage to a progeny or to a child. It's just that they have not gone through that. They have seen different times. So they are not actually exposed to this kind of, so they don't know the merit of this. They don't wish to do anything, or at least find themselves guilty of having done anything which could not optimally help the future of the child. Like Dr. Kalaiselvi was saying, when she became a scientist, they said, are you like APJ Kalam? But I went to school a few years earlier than her. And when our college mates, they would say कि मैं scientist हूँ, तो कहे क्यों कोई नौकरी नहीं मिली? So maybe you saw better times. And rightly so, it was happening. It was happening in a descending order. Because you took science subjects to become an engineer or a medical doctor. You couldn't, you had no choice. You did BSc, then you tried civil services, you became a collector. You were never not any way close to anything called science. And if you didn't make it to IAS, then you went for MSc. Then you tried a teaching job, because UGC pays you very well, university. If given a choice, you will not come here. You will go to one of the universities with all the perks, privileges, everything. Or you did a PhD, again tried a teaching. And if you didn't get anything else, then you came to CSIR. And this was actually happening. It was actually happening. But I think the greatest, the hallmark of the last 11 years under Prime Minister Modi, as far as our children are concerned, which has also supplemented this surge of science interest, is the National Education Policy 2020, which we often don't discuss. And this kind of program will help you that. It doesn't make you prisoner of the subjects that were selected by you, by your parents, that if you chose science subjects in class 12, then you have to be chased by them. You can change over, you can juggle. And in a child, the aptitude also evolves. You know, when you newly enter into a school, I'm talking on behalf of many of you, the first thing that impresses you is your physical instructor, your PT teacher. Because वो धौंस जमाता है सब पे, इधर दौड़ाता है उधर दौड़ाता है. And you come home and told your mother, I want to become a PT teacher. And she curses herself, कि मैंने क्या इसका दिमाग कर दिया. Then gradually, you are impressionable, you are enamored by the appearances put across by your teacher. Then there may be some teacher carrying a little more glamour, so you want to become something in the subject being taught by her or him. And gradually the aptitude evolves. But sometimes by the time it evolves, you have already crossed that mark. You already got stuck in class 12 in the subjects chosen not by your choice, your preference or your aptitude, chosen by someone else. And now you realize, no, I was not meant for medical. I was meant for literature. And this education policy is actually an answer to that. And it happens and this is exactly the pattern which is being followed across the world. We took up later. So because we were a new democracy, so we had to create access to education, partly in the form of a series of regional engineering colleges, a series of government medical colleges across the country. But this is the pattern. In fact, you have some of the best literary writers who evolved from science. John Keats wrote all his poetry when he was in the first year or second year of a medical school. Of course, then he got tuberculosis and died as a student itself. So many of them. That's because they had the opportunity actually to realize what was evolving inside them. Just as I said, you go to Bombay because everybody says you're so handsome. And the mother always says, and you also start believing her. And when you go there, they say you don't even look like a villain. So then you evolve, then you learn what is. So I think this new education policy is the greatest enabler. And as Dr. Kalaiselvi said, the single one individual who should be credited for bringing in this huge 360 transformation is Prime Minister Modi. He's been repeatedly talking, whether it was Pariksha Pe Charcha, whether it is Mann Ki Baat, everywhere he's been finding references to this. And therefore, I won't go into all the figures that have been narrated. I think this has been a remarkable number. I was told 3,500 activities. Yeah, that's quite remarkable. I'm sure, I know how much of hard work might have gone behind all this. But I think what is important is that this exercise should be seen as an endeavor aimed at 3 goals, 3 A's. And that is awareness, second is aptitude, and third is avenue. Awareness about what is there available, because many of us don't know. And I'm glad most of our now, 60% of the startups are from B towns, C towns. And Dholpur is not even C town, which I was talking about. I was there just about 3 days back. It's in fact aspirational district. It's been, not even merited to be in that train. Because it's a myth that most of them come from cosmopolitan. It's not so, because they have their other opportunities. The aspirational surge is much, much more in a town like Pathankot, in Phagwara, because they want to prove that, yeah, we can also do. And that is what has to be addressed and channelized. And that is because the awareness, and thanks God to this instrument that you have, this mobile phone, which is become a big, big enabler, because earlier on you didn't have this. If you had to do a thesis, in fact, in my case, my guide told me, you will find this book at British Council Library. When I went to the British Council Library over here, they said, we have the book, but the British, our Consulate General in Calcutta has borrowed it. So you wait for 2 months. It doesn't happen now. And it must have happened with most of us. It doesn't happen now. You have everything at the click of the mouse. So that is giving you. And aptitude, you realize, even when the awareness comes, sometimes you are not realizing your true aptitude because you are not aware that there is a channel for this. When, for example, as I was talking in the terms of Bollywood, if you realize that you are you could be writing poetry, do you find a slot there itself? And the third is, of course, the avenue. This also becomes an avenue of livelihood. And for that, I have another third suggestion, if we can work on that. One, of course, one day, one teacher. The other is getting a parent. And third is, like you had CIPLA as a sponsoring. We could also ask CIPLA to become a partner in this program. Let them also adopt one of the child each or two, all this, depending on what is their participation. Because then they could also make them, they could also be a medium of livelihood for them. They could sustain. Now, for example, if he's created this project or if she has created that project, where do they go from here now? Tomorrow you take up some other college courses, then your project doesn't find, because you can't be expecting Dr. Kalaiselvi to giving you, what, 5,000 every month. She'll become very rich soon. She has a big empire, 37 labs, but she's not ready right now. So if you make the private sector sponsor, not only sponsor the activity, also let them adopt the children. And give them some liberty, of course, with your cognizance, to decide what kind of project. Let's not decide the project unilaterally. The project, of course, depending on his aptitude, and his aptitude linked with their requirement. So that later on, they would own you, they would sustain you even financially, and they would also become a source of your livelihood. So that's how we can sustain a startup. Otherwise, what would happen is that this young boy who was showing that solar will, after 3 years, find another boy roaming in BMW, and he will say, hell with this solar. Let me do whatever he is doing, beg, borrow, steal, or dacoity. So we have to plan. If we have to plan in the long run, we have also to find means of sustaining the advantages of NEP 2020. If the advantage of NEP 2020, along with this, is technological availability and access, is that you get awareness through this, you realize your aptitude, then you also have to be provided with an avenue which is linked to your preference. And for that, we can have a financial sustainability right from the beginning, because I think one important advantage given to you, all of you, is that you are the ones, like Dr. Kalaiselvi was saying, that tomorrow when we keep talking of this Viksit Bharat and 2047 is you are going to be the architects of 2047 because you are going to be at the prime of your career, prime of your age, prime of your energy. And the entire future growth across the world is going to be technology driven. And that also is the reason. And now the trend has also changed because of some of the success stories we have registered, like in space. And the best way, I think, that all of us can do, at least I do that, to find out where these children are going ahead, because sometimes you tend to lose contact if you are not constantly. Don't go by the ratings given in the magazines or in the newsletters. Just go try to get access to the counseling sessions conducted on them when they go through IIT JEE, when they go through NET, and they will tell where you stand. And you know something? Now, suddenly for the last 2-3 years, because in engineering, in the aerospace, many in the room may not be aware, you have a summer training program like you have in MBA. In MBA also in first year, you go for a summer training to one of the industry houses. You can go to a printing house, you can go to a manufacturing. So there also they have a provision, the third year of engineering, they expect you to go because that adds to your profile for 2 months. And for the last 2 years, thousands and thousands of applications to do a summer training in ISRO. Because most of these boys have taken up aerospace as engineering, which was not a favored subject till a few years ago. So the trend keeps changing. Like sometimes it was electronic communication, even in engineering, sometimes mechanical. It's now become like that. So we have to keep in touch with that. And that is a reflection because they know where they are looking for. And that has very closely linked to the market placement or the future job placement of theirs. And there also you can know your standing. Especially I was talking, because I'm going to 1 or 2 teaching institutions also every week. It's very more important for them also where they stand. To my amazement, I found many of the boys and girls opting for a private medical college instead of AIMS. You have 26 AIMS. Many of them opting for a private engineering college, then they're applying for the new IIT. And I, in fact, pointed out to some of the directors of the AIMS and also directors, said, look, that means that there's something amiss. And because these boys are judging us better than we judge ourselves. So that's why I said, get one parent also to be educated. And next time, I'm sure we'll move on to a better level than we are today. And if you have any suggestions to offer, I think you can give them 5 minutes to do that.
To give any feedback if they want for 5 minutes and then.
Thank you so much, sir, for your inspiring words. Your unwavering support for science, innovation, and youth continues to guide all of us. And your suggestion, one day as a teacher, opens another inspiring path for all of us. And now I request the students for the feedback, please. So can we hand over the mics to the students? And we need one mic on this stage.
So if anybody wants to say something, give some feedback, please raise your hand so that mic will be passed to you.
One more suggestion, if that is feasible and not embarrassing for all of us, which we were doing, I mean, at least because I've been in the advisory of several of the multinationals, we were doing that even 25 years back. At the end of the day, like tomorrow for them, we distribute an anonymous form to them. So you tell about me, you tell about him, you can write. The minister came, did some political nonsense talk, which was not required. Our time could have been utilized elsewhere. Or maybe this was not designed properly. So we actually, in fact, some of us conducted a program in Mumbai. That was way back 98. There also we did that. So it's been a practice in all the teaching institutions abroad in the teaching courses. Feedback form which is anonymously written. So no signature so that no bias happens after that. But you are free to comment about us, about our program, and also try to suggest what could be the improvements in the program, what could be the improvement of the presentations made by your mentors, by your teachers, and who could be replaced by whom. So they have enjoyed that the most.
The floor is open. Please raise your hand.
Please raise your hands. Please give the mic to her.
Just 1 second. We did a program for 7 to 10th class boys when Dr. Ahuja was the DG CSIR many years back, more than a decade back. Yeah, he then died. So we linked up with ISRO, and he and I. So we sent about a group of boys for about 3 weeks of internship with the Nobel laureates. It was one of the Nobel laureates. So since I was from the medical stream, so most of them, of course, because it's mostly done through the personal contact, some of them are Nobel laureate in physiology, some in bioscience, like that. So we put together through our contact. And then when we came back, then I said we should have a long sitting asking each one of them what was the experience. And a boy from Bengaluru who was in class 7, you know, what he said, I enjoyed it. It was very useful. I love doing it. But please call my mother also and give him some counseling. The boy telling me. I said, what happened? He says, she is always pestering me. Finish your homework, finish your homework, finish your homework. The moment I try. So it's become... So I think that's why, because it has to be a wholesome. So we'll also do that parent thing.
So I would like to say thank you so much, first of all, to Jigyasa. It had been a really amazing and enthralling experience for a 10th grader student to be here and see and talk to the real life scientist and the real life developer of our nation. So the suggestion I would like to give is, at the end of the session, if you could invest some 5 or 10 minutes to us so that we can in real life interact to you and talk to you personally. Because most of the students which are present here have a phobia of cameras, mics, and all of the people that are sitting here. So it would be really nice if we talk to you for 5 minutes personally.
Okay. So after this, we'll go to another room.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir.
So one more student for the feedback.
But what you want to say separately, you can write in the anonymous form. That is meant for that only. All the things which you think may not sound very pleasant, publicly you could write on that.
Yeah, so as much as I enjoyed this whole program, it was very enlightening.
Just introduce yourself.
Yes, my name is Ananya Gehlot. I am from Bal Bharti Public School, Rohini. And today I have come here alone with no teacher, no guide. So the only problem I had today, even though this was a very enlightening program and I got to learn a lot, I got to, see scientists, as my peer just mentioned. We got to see scientists, we got to, see how it goes, how everything happens in a laboratory. So it was really a very enlightening experience, but just one problem I had, and this might sound very petty, the time constraint was overrun a little bit. So now I'm getting messages from my mother who's asking me where I am and when I'm coming home. So
that's why next time we'll get the mother here.
That is a great idea.
And you will tell her, I want to go. She will say, I'm enjoying being in company of Dr. Kalaiselvi. So Dr. Kalaiselvi is a very good company.
That is a very good idea, sir. Thank you.
Because she must be saying, where are you wasting your time? Why don't you get home?
Because...
No, absolutely, we get your point.
Yeah, because I still have to, I have to take a taxi home alone an hour away, right?
That's right.
So it is a little, she's a little skeptical about a 14-year-old girl being out alone in the evening. So it's a little, that's what she was a little worried about. Otherwise, she does support me in whatever I do. So yeah, I'm very grateful for that.
As a 14-year, you can say that what Dr. Kalaiselvi couldn't have said that when she was 14 years. So that is the aspirational difference now. Because if she had said that, she would get beating from both sides, from her mother as well as from teachers.
So any other student is interested for the feedback? Only girls, no boys?
We have more girls on the stage also. So.
Yes, please.
Okay, first of all, this was a very, very enlightening experience. I had a lot of fun. I think my peers would agree that the fact that we got to present our projects in front of everybody, in front of the entire Jigyasa team sitting there, I think that was very good. The only feedback I have, there are two feedbacks. Firstly, I think such programs and such initiatives where children can physically present and create their ideas, this should be done all year round. So for example, we started this Jigyasa hackathon. It was a one-time thing. I think we should have it as a part of our national education policy, and we should create a portal where each and every child, whenever he or her has an idea, they can submit it on the portal, and then the team of scientists can, of course, review the idea and work on that. And of course, the last thing that I want to add is that make Jigyasa a part of a curriculum, part of a CBSE curriculum, that it is mandatory for students for at least 1 to 2 months. They come here, they experience Jigyasa labs, and they get the necessary exposure. Yeah, I think.
No, that CBSE part, of course, can't comment because we are not mandated to do that. But this is doable. Portal we can immediately start. We'll do that. So one of these suggestions we can immediately, on the spot we can do that. We'll start a portal, we'll name it like that, aspiration or idea, something like that.
Yeah, that would be great.
No, you could extend it, you know. You can, they already have a portal, they could include one of these components as well.
Yeah.
But that's a good, I mean, that's a doable thing, we could do it immediately.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Japtek, for a beautiful idea.
But I hope your respective schools also allow you or give you an opportunity to narrate this story in your school, what you have narrated over here. Or you can actually suggest to their schools to give them an opportunity to make a presentation even in the school. At least the others would be inspired by that.
Yes.
If there's nobody, anybody wants?
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Naman Garg. I'm from Hindu Vidyapeeth, Sonipat. First of all, it was a very thrilling experience seeing all of these PhDs in front of me. I really enjoyed the experience. The idea I want to give is that we came here as to experience this one day as a scientist. We appoint a scientist to go to different schools one day or the other so that students who are shy to come in front of the stage can also experience this. That's all, sir. It was very good.
No, that I've already suggested. We'll have one day as a teacher. But since you mentioned too many PhDs, so don't go home with that impression that you have to be a PhD to be an innovator. Don't get mesmerized by the gentlemen and gentle ladies sitting over here. And that is a myth I go around the whole country suggesting. 2-3 myths which have wrongly got associated with startup. A, that you have to be a very big scientist, you have to be a PhD, you have to be IT, nothing like that, nothing at all. Now she was talking of lavender. Many of those successful startups are not even graduates, and they are rolling in millions. The other day we were calculating the minimum is about 60 lakh per annum, 70 lakh. You just have to be innovative, you have to be creative, you have to have the urge, you have to have that kind of fire inside you, and you have to be a good learner to pick up the kind of things that are required for that project, and you move on. Similarly, some of them in millets. We have a lady here, she's a past 60, and she's become a millet entrepreneur. She never, I think, did science subjects when she was a school girl. So don't get into that. It's all about innovation, creativity, and learning the technology which is available in abundance. And also it's not linked with age. Not that only a 14-year can be a startup. We have startups past 60, past retirement superannuation. So these are some of the things, because these ideas should not get in. Sometimes they can be disadvantaged.
Okay, thank you, sir, and thank you all for your participation. Now, as a gesture of deep respect and gratitude, I request Ma'am to please present a token of respect to Honorable Dr. Jitendra Singh for his constant guidance, visionary leadership, and unwavering support to the scientific community. And now to formally conclude this inspiring celebration of science and student engagement, I request Dr. K. Shridhar, scientist in charge of the Jigyasa Programme from CSIR HRDG, to deliver the vote of thanks. Sir, please.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Avani. On behalf of entire CSIR and Jigyasa family, I take this opportunity to thank Honorable Minister for Science and Technology and Vice President CSIR Dr. Jitendra Singh ji for sparing his time on his busy schedule and accepting our invitation for being chief guest for this program. I take this opportunity to express my heartfelt gratitude to our DG CSIR for her unwavering support and conducting this One Day as a Scientist program. I would like to thank Head HRDG Dr. Geetavani Rayasam for her leadership, guidance and motivation in converting this idea into an actionable nationwide program. A big thanks to Dr. Shailaja, distinguished scientist, for giving us such an interesting talk on Epic Hackathon for our students. You have been the backbone of CSIR Epic Hackathon program, and I'm sure today's insightful lecture of yours will encourage other students to scale up their innovative ideas. I would also like to thank Director NPL, Professor Achanta, and his team, Dr. Shibu Saha, Dr. Avani, and the entire NPL team for accepting to be the host of this mega celebration of One Day as a Scientist program and helping us in conducting the entire event. I take this opportunity to thank the CSIR Director, Laboratory Directors, and Jigyasa coordinators across India for willing to open your lab to all the students under the One Day as a Scientist program for 5 days. I thank IIT Bombay Professor Narona, his team Pushpadeep, and all the other people for developing the back-end system for the One Day as a Scientist program and also being a pillar for us under the Jigyasa program. I'd like to thank CSIR NISPER team, Dr. Manish Gore and SMCC team for coordinating the entire media, and also Dr. Suman Ray for coordinating with NPL. I would also like to thank all the dignitaries who are present here, HODs, directors, and also my colleagues, scientists, for being here and witnessing this program. I would also like to thank the Epic Hackathon winning students for coming down here and sharing your experience and participating in this One Day as a Scientist program. I would like to thank my team, Mrs. Raina, Aniket, Vinayak Murthy, Jatin, and Head HRDG Office, Mr. Sinha and team, and other CSI HRDG colleagues for supporting and successfully implementing the entire program. Last but not the least, I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to the participating students present here physically, maybe around 100 students, and also around 1,500 students connected online from across 37 labs for believing in us and participating in this program in full zeal. You are being the reason for gathering here today. Your curiosity and enthusiasm are the driving force behind every experiment, demonstration, and activity planned for this week. Thank you one and all for your presence, your participation, your passion. Together, let us keep the spirit of Jigyasa alive. Thank you once again.
Now I request everyone to please rise for the national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
So the team wants a picture with you. The team wants NPL and Jigyasa
So I request all the team members from CSIR, HRDG and NPL involved in the program to please come on the dais for a group photograph with sir. And I request all of you to please be seated in your places. We will be distributing snack boxes to all of you. Please come fast on the dais.